It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore with me here. The BOAT! They call him the BOAT. The best of all time. Let me give him his props. I normally never give him his props. Let me give him his props. But I tell you, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame today, getting champagne wishes, caviar dreams, coming off a hell of a Rumble weekend. Man, I'm talking about from top to bottom, hell of a Rumble weekend, and I'm still excited about this Rumble this year, man. People saying the greatest rap of all times. That should be debated. But I tell you this, of this era, the greatest Rumble of all time.
I would say of the modern era, yeah, it's got to be that one.
Yeah.
You know, the only recent Rumble, like match, like when we talk about men's Royal Rumble, that even comes close, in my opinion, is that 2021 where Drew won here at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. It was a great match because of Brock being out there or whatever. But this one tops that, because what I was thinking about earlier, I think, and we did a simulcast with ESPN Radio, the national radio, and covered the Royal Rumble. Shout out to everybody who was involved with that. Jonathan Zaslow, Sam Roberts, Trick Willie. We're all in the building for that. But
as well as the people.
We're all involved. But when I thought about it, think about this. At the last 9 guys in there, it was LA Knight, it was Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, actually AJ Styles was in there, Jey Uso, Roman, Punk, Rollins. Did I say Damian Priest already?
Yeah.
Logan Paul was in there. My point is, and John Cena. How can I forget John Cena? Those 10 guys. So a third of the Rumble was in there, and conceivably any one of those people could have won. And you would have been like, oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, I can go with that. I could, and that's just a testament to where the roster's at. That those 10 guys were in the Rumble, and you would have been okay with any of them winning.
Yeah, man. I tell you, man, what a Rumble, man. What a Rumble. I tell you, it made me miss actually being in there a little bit. And the thing is, I always say I scratched every itch. I swear. And I would never have imagined or dreamt it would be the Royal Rumble that would give me the itch to want to get back in there. I guess because it was so dynamic. This one was so dynamic. So many moving parts. Everybody played a hell of a role. Like you say, you didn't know who was going to win it. I tell you, like I say, O'Shea Jackson, he seemed like he was a little kid. They flashed him for a second. He seemed like he was a little kid when CM Punk came out, right? And I can only imagine his face and reaction when CM Punk went over the top rope, because it was totally unexpected. So for me, man, damn good Saturday night. I must say that. Even though we were at home, we wasn't there, in Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, Indiana. 70,000 people sold out. It still was a great night.
But it felt like we were there. You know what I mean?
It really did. It really felt like we were there, man. I couldn't even watch it. It was like at certain points, I'm just covering my eyes and looking down and holding my head. I haven't felt like that in a long time, man. I swear to God.
Well, let me ask you this, because the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble is Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, who started at Reality of Wrestling all those years ago under your expert tutelage, him and his brother. And now he is going to find himself battling for the world championship at WrestleMania. As a mentor and a coach to him, and as a fan of Jey Uso himself, what were your thoughts immediately when he won the Royal Rumble?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking about the title or anything like that. I wasn't. I was just in the moment. I was just happy that he had won on that night. That was the biggest night of his career, and to have that moment, to be blessed with that moment, just one time in your career, you walk away and say, "Man, I won the Royal Rumble." Back in 2025. Such and such was in the ring. Yeah, all these names you just named off. And I walked away on top. So I get it. I remember, being in a match, the King of Kings match with John Cena and the Big Show, and all of us was champions, and it was a triple threat match, and I remember winning that match. I'm like, just a moment, you know what I mean? Those are moments that no one can ever take away from you, as well as it lets you know that something that we talk about all the time, the company trusts you. You've put in the work for the company to trust you, to be the guy, to rep the company. And that right there, I've talked about two things throughout my career. Also, the championship is one thing, but the title, that's something totally different. Right now, he's got the title, bro, of being the guy that they can trust. Championship will come later. You feel me? So for all you guys out there, I just schooled you. All right, I just gave y'all a lesson and what this thing is all about. So man, I'm just so happy for the kid, and it's on with it up with. Like I say, I see so much of myself in this kid. I mean, it reminds me of my story. Being in a tag team for years and then breaking out into singles and then putting the work in and least likely to be the guy, and then next thing you know, you just blow up, So I don't, it feels surreal for me, as well as him being a reality of wrestling alumni. It just let me know that we did well with this kid, man. We did well with this kid. I remember an interview that his brother did not too long ago, and the one thing they say that they both learned from me was, your losses got to be better than your wins. And that right there just let me know that I taught him well. I taught him right. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's one of those things to where for Jey, it's hard to break out of that tag team. Really, really is. Especially when, and you know this, like this is why it's such a great comparison. You know this because when you're in a tag team that's successful and has a long run with multiple championship reigns, and it's your brother, there's an extra added layer in this one where they happen to be identical twins, right? Like there's a lot of difficulty in overcoming that, not just to yourself, but to the office, to the other boys, but most importantly, to the crowd. That, hey, I'm more than a tag team guy. And Jey Uso has done that phenomenally over these last couple years, but really in this last year. I think going from the match he had with his brother at WrestleMania 40 to now, he really made sure to become one of, if now not the hottest act in the company. And that is not by accident. That's by purposeful action. And I'm ecstatic for him and where he's going to go from here.
Yeah, he's done something that's, his in-ring work is great, but I think his connection with the fans, I think, is what's really put him over the top. When I used to come out of the fans, used to raise the roof. It was undeniable. You had to, say, man, this kid's got something, and you see everybody doing this yeet thing. You gotta say, man, how many T-shirts can we sell here? You know what I'm saying? So, no, man, it's so much appeal in main event Jey Uso opposed to just Jey Uso. So much more appeal with this kid. He's done it all his way, man. And I that's what I try to talk to my students about, as far as me being a guy that's old school, from the past. But when I see something that worked for these young kids today, man, go with it. I get it. And what Jay has done, he's tapped into what these young guys are doing today, which for me is, I'm like, man, he's right on point. Then he go out and perform, in any era. He's not just flipping around and doing that. He's trying to get some emotion out of everything he's doing out there. So for me, man, I'm loving it. I'm loving everything that this kid, he's developed his own thing and he's created his own thing outside the tag team thing. And he's done it relatively quickly. It didn't take him, I don't know how many years it took me. But nah, man, he's done a hell of a job. We got to take a quick break though, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame, man. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by BlueChew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. BlueChew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Just talking about Rumble, man, the Rumble. Hey, man, it was a hell of a Rumble. Roxanne, big ups to Roxanne Perez. All right, I know you was getting ready to say that. I went out there and set records, went out there and did it, so that's reality wrestling alumni right there, guys. That's what you get. When you go to reality wrestling, you get the best in training. You get the best of expert tutelage when you go to reality wrestling. So guys, just go to realitywrestling.com and do it now if you want to venture in this wrestling business. If you want to go on that journey here in this wrestling business, go to realitywrestling.com. Do it now. I do it for you.
I was going to say about, yes, Roxanne setting the all-time record, an hour and 7 minutes in the Women's Royal Rumble. No big deal. And I actually said on this show that she was going to be in the Final Four, but I'm no soothsayer.
That's it.
And you're talking about students at Reality of Wrestling. I was on the phone with, our director, Kevin Bernhardt, right before you and I talked, and he had to stop the phone call because he was getting a call on the line where you're signing up another student. So, you know what I mean? Go to realitywrestling.com if you want to be a part of the process. But, speaking of students, someone jumped in the chat here, and I'd be foolish to not highlight what they had to say because I'd be interested in what you have to say back to it. one of your students, one of your pupils, somebody who people can see this Saturday at Row Blitz, live from the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena.
I got blitz, blitz, blitz. I gotta say that too when you say it.
Blitz, blitz,
Blitz, blitz.
blitz, blitz, blitz.
That's
And that person,
the theme song, man, is awesome, man. The theme song for Blitz is a monster. If you guys haven't heard it, we might play it for you before the show is over.
yeah, we have an official theme song for Reality Wrestling Blitz. Shout out to the artist who performed it. It's on the Reality Wrestling Instagram page. You can go check that out. But this person is making their presence known, and that person is none other than Zilla Fatu.
Zilla, what's up?
He said nobody gives a damn about what you're saying. You better get ready for this Saturday.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I want all the smoke.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's something I always talk about, Brad. Concern yourself with business that concern you. You feel me? That's how people get in trouble. Just running up on somebody, talking when grown folks talking like you and I right now. So Zilla Fatu, like I said, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna say this. This kid's got a great future. You know what I mean? He's gonna shine. He's gonna shine like new money. He's gonna shine like new money. But sometimes you have to crack a nut with a jackhammer. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And that's what
Maybe. I don't know, to be honest with you.
That's what might have to happen with this kid. But let's move on. Let's move on to another kid.
Who do you want to move on to?
Let's move on to another kid. And let's ask the question. And I was reading something in the news about another guy, another up and coming guy. I feel like has a star appeal. Could be one of the biggest in this business if done right. And that's MJF. People are asking if MJF is getting stale, if he's losing steam. And what do you say to people that maybe saying MJF is losing his mojo?
Well, I don't know if MJF is necessarily losing his mojo, but I think that the show that he contributes his talents to is. I mean, if we're just being honest, I don't even remember the last time we had a real AEW story to talk about. And to me, them not being in discussions it really tells you where that show is. And I'm not trying to hate, because I got a lot of people who work over there I'm friendly with and friends with, and I want to see AEW succeed. But it's just been so cold for the last 6 months, maybe. And, when AEW started, and I'm going to get back to MJF, but when AEW started, it was during a time where people weren't liking what they were seeing from WWE. And to be honest with you, they had every reason to. It was a tough watch back in those 2018, 2017, 2019. That era, it wasn't the best era in WWE history. And so AEW started, and they were like our house on fire. It's like, this guy's there, this guy's there, this guy's here. Now I'm hearing like, this person's leaving, this person's leaving. What is it? They were saying Malachi Black might be out of it, but we've heard that before too. But that's what I was reading over the weekend. And so, to me, is MJF losing his mojo? I don't know, because guess what? I'm not watching the show. And if I'm not watching the show, somebody who's watched pro wrestling every single week since he was 5, since 1998, that's the problem. I'm the person who should be. We talk about it. We cover it. And if I'm not watching the show, that's an issue.
Has he been in any angles lately? I mean, I'm talking about not angles. I mean, I'm just saying, I know you've heard about it. I mean, I'm sure you probably saw snippets on the internet, on YouTube or something, MJF making his return or whatever. Has he been in any big matches? That's him
and Ospreay. Him and Ospreay was the last program I remember.
They worked?
Yeah. How
long ago was it?
Whenever All In was. So in the summer, maybe? Or no, I don't know, somewhere around then. Whenever that stadium show was.
Not often is what I mean. You haven't seen him like on a regular, is what I'm saying. No. My thing is, this is the way I look at it, and we got a little bit of time to talk about this. Because I like MJF. This is a guy that's got major star appeal. He really does. I really feel like in this business, he's going to really, really write his own ticket at the end of the day.
He's talent. Yeah.
He's talent. In the ring, as well as on the microphone.
Mhm.
He's a guy that I really feel like would be good for that. What we talk about in the ring, out of the business. He'll be able to promote, do a whole lot of things for your promotion. I just really feel like he's going to be one of those generational guys, like a Piper. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but I just feel like that about this guy. And honestly, for the people that is saying that MJF is getting stale, they may be right. They may be right 100%, but it's a good stale from my perspective, because MJF is a guy that's, I'm sure, because he did that little bidding war thing for a minute. He made sure when contract time came up, Tony Khan was going to make sure he took care of him. So I'm sure he got took care of as far as the contract goes. MJF is what, like 27, 28?
Somewhere in there.
Probably got a 5-year deal or something like that. Even if he had a 10-year deal, when he came out of it, working at this pace, he's still going to be fresh to come on somebody's roster. But just say, for instance, he got a 5-year deal and he comes out 33 years old. That's still young for this business. It's pitch perfect for this business. You know exactly all the X's and O's when you come in around that age. So for me, for MJF to take that AEW deal, just like I say, I don't know. I'm just speculating. 5 years. I don't know how many million, but 5 years. And then at the end of that 5 years, he's able to write his own ticket. So leaving AEW is not going to be a problem, as just say, for instance, when the contract came up now. I say get the money first.
Right.
And then we'll go bargain hunting after that. You agree with me on that?
Well, yes. I mean, I understand that he wants to get his money. And look, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get your money, because you got to set yourself up for the future of your family and your family's family and all that good stuff. Now, I don't care how sweet the deal was. Would I get another man's company's logo tattooed on me? The hell to the no.
That could be a watch tattoo, you know what I mean? That could be,
He better hope to God is, because it's ugly as all hell.
That could be a watch tattoo,
But my thing with MJF is I agree with everything that you said, and it is about timing. And I don't know when his deal is up, but if I'm MJF and I had the chance to go over to WWE and I'm seeing what they're doing right now compared to what AEW is doing, and I'm really trying not to hate on AEW because I know that's what people are going to say, I'd be like, damn, man, money's good, but it's not that. You know what I mean? But he is going to be in Happy Gilmore too, which is actually a really big deal on Netflix. That's a huge movie. I think he plays like Adam Sandler's son or something. So he's got opportunities out there. But I don't have a problem with the man getting his money. I just do think that he's one of those guys to where if he's in WWE and has that machine behind him, he's a mega star. And right now, he's like a wrestling star. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I see his career kind of like my career a little bit, at the end of WCW. And I was watching WWF, and I saw what those guys are doing on television. I was wishing I was there, man. I was wishing I could go over and compete with those guys. And I was a guy I was one of those never WWF guys. Mm-hmm. Never going over there, but I saw the action and I wanted to be a part of it so bad because I saw what we was doing, and what we were doing was nowhere in comparison to what they were doing. So I was like, man, I want to be a part of that. But that's the business. That's the business. Hey, man, we'll talk more on the back end. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
Hey guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section in row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous books, so guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Guaranteed. Oh, yes. Zilla Fatu. You think... Oh, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champion. I was just talking to somebody here. Think I'm worried about Zilla Fatu. Let me catch him on the street. I do the same thing I did in street justice. You know what I mean? Street justice. Get some, want some. You know what comes after that, right? You know what comes
Your
after
ass
that?
better be big enough and bad enough to take some.
Because it's on like neck bone, sucker. So my thing is this. I ain't running. I ain't hiding. You know, I run this here. You just live here. All right? I just want to put that out there. We back inside the Hall of Fame. Some more news, breaking news. Charlotte Flair and Andrade got divorced.
Oh, man. I didn't know that.
It's all over. It was a hell of a run. What, 4-year run? Something like that? 4 years?
Yeah, I don't know. A few years, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's over. It's all over, man. You know, things happen like that. You know what I mean? My ex-wife, and when it was time, I said, here, take this money and get the hell out. You feel me? I'm serious, man. I'm like, I couldn't take it. I said, here, take half in Texas. Here, take it. Get the hell up out of here and do it quick. You know what I'm saying? So no.
Well, no, like I didn't know that. I'm hearing that from you for the first time. But you know, Andrade, hell of a talent. Obviously, Charlotte Flair's great. I'm sure they're great as individuals. Sometimes it doesn't work out for them together, and they're making whatever decision is best for them. They still got to work together. They still work for the same company.
Bro.
So hopefully it's amicable and they all get along. You know what I mean? They all get along.
Take this money.
Crazy, man. It's crazy. I wanted to speak though on another WWE story because I want your reaction to this because last week, right before the Rumble, there was the first announcement for the WWE Hall of Fame 2025, and it was a surprise levied on this individual. But Triple H, Paul Levesque, is going to be going into the Hall of Fame as an individual. Already went in as a member of DX, so he joins. I think now there's 5 of you who will be in that two-timers club. I think it's you, Sean, Rick, Brett, and now Triple H, if my math is right. Someone else might be in there somewhere, but I think X-Pac is in there twice.
Yeah, Sean Waltman.
Sean Waltman as part of NWO and as a part of DX. So it's an elite club, but Triple H, I mean, look, he runs the company. I know he runs the place, but can you think of somebody more deserving of what he's given to the business for over the years? I mean, just his in-ring career alone is Hall of Fame worthy. I know you and he had some epic battles between one another, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Raw, SmackDown, other pay-per-views. What does it mean, for you? I mean, obviously I know you feel like he's deserving, and what are your thoughts about Triple H going into the Hall of Fame?
Oh, man, I think it's a great headliner for WrestleMania. Yeah, Hall of Fame in Vegas. It's going to be great. A lot of people might think I got animosity towards Hunter, because of WrestleMania. I'm like, bro, not at all. Hunter and I, we've always had a great working relationship, even still to this day, and in ring, he was one of those guys like I was just talking about in the last segment, about the last days of WCW, watching WWF and watching those guys just do what they were doing on Monday night and wanting to be a part of that. Triple H was one of the guys at the forefront. Man, he was able to have awesome matches, man. It was real as it real could possibly be, some of those matches that those guys were doing. And I always respected what that dude gave inside that squared circle. I really did. I've always respected what Hunter has given inside the ring. And if you're not a soldier and you're not in the battle zone, you're not walking through landmines, you're not going to understand what I'm talking about. But he's always had my utmost respect, you know, and for him to be able to, you know, to make this walk and thank the fans, you know, is something that we all want to get a chance to do at the end of the day. That's really truly what it's all about. Even though he's the boss, to be able to have that moment in front of that crowd and tell those people, thank you, man. This has been a hell of a ride. Thank you. It means everything. And for guys that crap on the Hall of Fame and the Hall of Fame ceremony and say, man, they don't give a damn about the Hall of Fame, you know, and this, that, whatnot, the other. They don't know what they're missing, but more importantly, they do. They do. And so that's what it's all about. It's gonna be a great ceremony.
It's gonna be incredible. And like you said, Triple H he is an all-time great. You know, he really is. He's an all-time great in and out of the ring. But from me just being a fan, it's so entertaining with him and Sean as a part of DX. I mean, it's so fun. And then when he kind of flipped the switch and he was the game and, you know, had the whole entrance with the water, there wasn't a kid alive who didn't try that water, you know, entrance. And, you know, the pedigree is one of the great finishing moves of all time. Like, he's just an all-time great. And yeah, he's the boss, but there is nobody who's going, oh, he's only getting in because he's the boss. Everyone's going, no, this guy, he should have been in 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, that's how great he is.
No, props, man. I give him props. He deserves it. He deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, Book? I also want to say it's going to be a history-making night, WrestleMania 41, or the Hall of Fame, which is going to come on right before then, I'm sure. But you know what? We were also a part of history on Saturday. I don't know if you realize this, but it didn't hit me till yesterday. We were doing the ESPN national radio show. At the very moment, the Luka and AD trade was announced, what came out. And you and I, broke the biggest NBA trade in history on ESPN airwaves to the people for the very first time.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, we did it. That was you and I. We were on ESPN radio at the moment the trade broke. It's the biggest NBA trade in history, and we were a part of that moment. It didn't hit me till the day after. I was like, wait a minute.
Just hit me.
Like, wait a minute. Did we just do that? Did that just happen? The biggest NBA trade of all time? And which is really crazy. So we're a part of history. The Hall of Fame's a part of history. The people who are with the Hall of Fame, y'all are a part of history in that moment. And as someone said on Twitter, they're like, break it down for me in wrestling terms, because they didn't watch basketball. Like, what does this mean? And I was trying to think of a good comparison. And what I was able to come up with is this is like trading 1997 Rock, like The Rock, when he was right there and he was about to really get into his run. It's like trading him to WCW for Scott Hall. Scott Hall, great talent, big talent, kind of on the latter portion of his career, but still a hell of a name. Could go out there and draw tickets and give you great matches, but you're giving away a generational franchise star in The Rock. And I think that's the best comparison. I still don't understand why they did it. They must know something about Luka that we don't know. But I just wanted to share that with you because I didn't know if you knew we were a part of history.
No, I didn't know that, but I have been talking about, I have been listening to everybody talk about the trade as far as, you know, AD and Luka, and the thing that they've been talking about with Luka is the contract that he had coming was going to be like 9 figures. Mm-hmm. And it was like, man, that's a whole lot of money to give a guy that don't believe in staying in shape, coming in shape, staying ready so you don't have to get ready. And I thought about that, and I go, wow, man, that is a good point. You know what I mean? You know, that is a really, really good point. because sometimes when you got the money, you ain't got to get in shape. You ain't got to work hard. You know what I mean? I always thought that was a big problem for a lot of guys. You know, when they make that money, a lot of them get soft. You know, and that could have been the case. You know,
it's the silk pajamas theory, but also when you're as talented as a Luka Doncic, naturally, you're as talented as a Zion Williamson, naturally, Charles Barkley, as Shaquille O'Neal. You see James Harden. You see a lot of those guys come in about 20, 30 pounds, 40 pounds more than they should be because they've had this natural ability their entire life where they've been naturally great. And sometimes you got to put in that work to make sure you come in at your tip-top position, especially if you're about to make $300 million. But yeah, I want to say this, as a Rockets fan, I always like to see Dallas doing a little bit worse. I don't know if they're necessarily worse in the short term. In the long term, sure. You're trading away Luka. They actually maybe a little bit harder to beat this season with AD as a rim protector and Kyrie balling out of his mind. But I also, as a Rockets fan, hate that the Lakers always seem to find a way. No matter what, they always seem to find a way. Whether it's getting LeBron, it's trading for Shaq, and now it's getting Luka.
Yeah.
They always find a way.
One day Charles Barkley said, and I could take his advice over anybody. He said,
Sure.
In high school, you could play fat. In college, you could play fat. But in the pros, you can't play fat. And I was like, that. He's probably right. He's been there. He say, Moses Malone changed his whole train of thought as far as being in shape. But we got to take a break. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man, Brad Gilmore. And today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With EarnIn, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
EarnIn is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the EarnIn app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
You know, Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly. You know.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last-minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make EarnIn part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to EarnIn.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download EarnIn today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with EarnIn now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to earn in, not just earn. Check it out, man. Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Oh, man, I know we got a few super chatters we're going to get to. Anything else you want to talk about in wrestling?
No, not really. I think we covered the big stories, that have come out. I'm excited.
Anything controversial that we hadn't touched on, anything that we can, pop a rating, something like, you know what I mean? Stir up some trouble. Anything out there? What's going on? Anything out there? Well, I'm just thinking.
Why you always want to get in trouble? Like, why can't we just have like a nice, fun chat about pro wrestling?
It's so fun having shows like that. Yeah. You gotta break the internet with some news, man. But super chatters. What we got, man?
Okay, we're gonna go to the super chatters, and I just want to, again, shout out to everybody who was with us on Saturday for the Royal Rumble. Also, Women's Royal Rumble. Shout out Charlotte Flair. I also said this on the air. All-time Hottie Biscotti Royal Rumble. I got to put that out there just for my own.
Scotty's baby.
I mean, all time. It was good. Phenomenal. But also the women. You know what? I actually got to shout out Zelina Vega. I was going back and watching some of the highlights of the match.
I'm sure you
this. Zelina did this spot on Jordan Grace. She did that code red from the top rope, and Jordan Grace was on the second rope.
I saw that.
It was sweet, man. I must have missed it live because when I went back and saw it, I was like, man, that was player. I've never seen it off the top rope like that. So shout out to all the women. They showed up and they showed out and they represented. Shout out to Roxanne Perez and, of course, Charlotte Flair. But now we'll go to our super chatters. If you have a chat that you want to get a question, comment, or concern about the Hall of Fame, about the Royal Rumble, about the big game this Sunday, about the Luka AD trade, we're taking on everything. We're knocking out all bums, and we're doing it right now. So let me get to our super chat. Our first one's called Jake from the Windy City. As a UFC fan, horrible to see Bryce Mitchell condoning anti-Semitism and not face repercussions from TKO. Imagine if a WWE talent said the same. Yes, of course, Bryce Mitchell said some horrendous things on a podcast regarding Jewish people and stuff going back to the days of the Nazis. Dana White came out and condemned it very strongly. And he said, that's the great thing about this sport is now you can go see that guy go get knocked out and punched in the face. I don't know. UFC takes a pretty lax stance on stuff like this. Overall, they're very pro free speech, even speech that they actually don't align with. And, I can understand people not happy that they didn't have some sort of punishment. And I can also understand UFC saying, look, we're condemning it, but we're not going to punish him because we live in a country where he's allowed to say it. It's kind of one of those double-edged swords.
Yeah, man, I don't believe in cancel culture, man. I just don't. People can say whatever they want to say. And, when it's under certain contexts, because we do have freedom of speech. Is it something that I like? Not one bit. But it's just like I watched Colby Covington, spew his, hate rhetoric many, many months. And when Kamaru Usman beat the hell out of him, that was one of my best nights.
It's a great night.
I swear, when this kid Buckley just beat the bricks off of him, man, I was like, man, I'm loving it. So for me, people like that, at the end of the day, they normally get what they get coming to them. I mean, normally, karma is a mother, man. So I say let God take care of that. Seriously.
Yeah. They got to meet their maker saying some things like that. It's just horrible. And yeah, we condemn it, obviously. Jey Uso, me versus Brad Gilmore at WrestleMania. Look, if you want to call your shot against the boat, Jay, like I'm ready to go. We can tango at the show of shows. Oscar Bum says, who would win if Kevin Nash, Oz, and Diesel took on Elias, Ezekiel, and Elrod? Also, Book, did your brother ever have problems with the other Stevie Ray? Is he meaning Stevie Ray Vaughan? Or who's the other Stevie Ray?
I don't know who the other Stevie Ray is, other than Stevie Ray Vaughan, but
it's the only one I know.
He might be thinking about Stevie Richards.
Steven Richards. Maybe Steven Richards.
I don't know.
Your brother have beef with Steven Richards? That would be the oddest beef of all time, by the way.
No, he didn't, but but I think the Kevin Nash Oz Diesel combination will win that match.
Yeah, I think so too. Shout out to Kevin and Elias. Mike Woodson says the greatest woman of all time, Clarissa Shields, put that girl to sleep on Saturday. And the Mavs trading Luka is like WWE trading Jey Uso to Ring of Honor. Shaking my damn head.
Oh, man. I don't know if you saw that Clarissa Shields, man.
I didn't.
It was an awesome 10 rounds, man. Clarissa Shields moved up to the heavyweight division, and now she has the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, the IBO. She's the unified heavyweight champion of the world. She beat Danielle Perkins, who was a giant, man. This girl looked like she was about 6'5" tall, long, rangy. She was only 5-0, but she was game. She was game. She went 10 rounds, and in the 10th round, with maybe 10 seconds left in the round, Clarissa Shields slipped to the right hand, dropped the right hand in, slipped to the right, dropped the right hand, bang! And the girl went down, put both hands on the ground, and the bell rang. The fight was over.
Wow.
Beautiful. It was beautiful, man. But
poetry in motion.
Yeah, it was. It was poetry in motion. But what was that second point?
It was saying trading Jey Uso to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. That's just But I don't know, man. At the
I mean,
end,
like Dallas got value back. I mean,
no,
AD's not a scrub.
no, that's what I was just going to say, man. AD's still young, as well. I mean, he's got some mileage on the tires as well, but as well as he's injury prone.
Yes.
If he could figure out a way, to win a championship in Dallas, all would be right.
Yeah, like I said, I think that it actually makes Dallas still a strong team in the short term. I mean, he's 31 years of age. He played 70-plus games last year, which is the most he's played in the last 5 years, coming off a career year. He's won a title before, as has Kyrie. So they're actually kind of a dynamic team together.
I mean, it's not a throwaway or anything like that. I think, like I say, a championship make all right.
Yes, but if they don't win.
Well, if they don't win, you still got the money.
No, but I'm saying if Dallas doesn't win,
Yeah.
people are going to talk about this as one of the worst decisions of all time.
People are going to be talking about this forever.
Yeah. And guess what? We were part of that history. Oh, so cool. Okay. Our next one here is from Daniel Cooper. Would you be willing to induct Rick Martel into the Hall of Fame, Booker? That would be a cool thing, man. The model Hall of Famer?
Man, yes, he is. Yeah, he truly is a Hall of Famer. I think Rick Martel, his resume speaks for itself. I mean, one of the best workers that I ever had a chance to get in the ring with and, perform, in that square circle. I tell you, I would love I mean, that would be an honor for me to induct Rick Martel in the Hall of Fame, but I'm sure somebody else would have that spot. But as far as a guy who's worthy of being there, even when he was the model back in WWE, and then when he was with Strike Force, was when it was Tito Santana. And I used to love those guys, man. I remember when him and Tito broke up, and he told Tito, "You just lost a step," I actually remember him telling Tito's lost a step, but that's how. And then when he got to WCW, I got a chance to work with Rick Martel. Unfortunately, Rick Martel suffered a knee injury in the match that I worked with him, and tore his ACL, and that was, I think, one of his last matches, and I still kind of blame myself a little bit for that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the model in WWE, and he was also a guy who not only was a great worker, but he could work the gimmick. I remember the perfume thing. The
was just
perfume
good,
was a
man.
great spot.
Even when he was in WCW, he was older, but he still could go. He still had that feel in the ring, man. I love our time. I just got a chance to work, man, maybe 2 or 3 times or something like that. But it was awesome. Yeah, really awesome.
The model. Well, hey, maybe he'll make it, man. This one comes from Cali Toenail. I see Michael Cole still blaming you for his Rumble loss, Book. Now, Row Wars, I got to say, Boat, I don't think people understand all you do, but you killed it, my man. Your roast game was on tight. I'm still rolling. Well, I appreciate that, Cali. I was getting him, man.
Yeah, Michael Cole, man. He's still crying, man. He just needs to stop crying. That's what he needs to stop doing. Stop crying, Michael Cole. All right? Do that for me.
Do that for me. Stop crying. Yeah, the Row Wars are up for channel members, by the way, if y'all want to check it out. And then I think tomorrow they go live to everybody, or later this week, maybe. Mike Woodson. Hey, Book, who wins a triple threat match? 2000 Booker, 06 King Booker, or 2025 Booker?
2000. I was hungry. I was hungry, man. I was hungry in 2000. You can't bet against youth. It's one thing you can't bet against. You know what I mean? Guys, can have the advantages for us, the knowledge and all of that, but youth normally overcomes everything. You know what I mean? It figures a way out. So 2000 Booker T, I was hungry, man, and so that would be the one.
That'd be the one.
Yeah.
And then our final one comes from Oscabum again. Wild Thing Stevie Ray, a wrestler. Did you know the Wild Thing Stevie Ray? I don't know Wild Thing Stevie Ray.
Is that the UFC fighter?
It says he's a wrestler.
I think that's a UFC fighter, Stevie Ray. That's the only other Stevie Ray I know is the UFC fighter Stevie Ray, and I don't think my brother had any problems with that Stevie Ray.
Oh no, this looks like an old wrestler.
Oh yeah,
I don't know this guy. Huh? We'll have to do some. He was with the UWF. I don't know about the Wild Thing. I'll have to do my research. We'll talk about it next time.
Wait, white guy, black guy,
white guy. Why is that funny?
Twin brothers from different mothers, perhaps.
There you go.
No. No, I never heard of them, but maybe next time we'll do some research and find out. But until next time, guys, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, Brad, for all the heavy lifting. Until next time, guys, peace. We love you. We out.